Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. So I'm alive. I have been away from YouTube for like a really long time. It's been a minute. A lot has happened. I think the last video I posted was in like April of 2014. And that's a pretty long time, but you know, going into a year almost. But I've been so busy with life. It's been kind of crazy. And really, I've kind of missed YouTube because it's such a fun little side hobby to like discuss things and teach things and like, you know, meet communities that get into the same things that you do. So I've kind of missed the interaction, and a lot of people haven't been posting either. So it's been kind of like on the back burner lately for me. So it's a bummer. I've really missed it, but again, I've been like chopped full with life. So I thought about doing a little like small video just to kind of like explain where, you know, what's been going on, and just do like a small kind of a haul thing from a local vendor this time. Usually, if you're familiar with my channel or me, I love Bath & Body Works, Yankee Candle, Ulta, Victoria's Secret, you know, body care, makeup, and anything like that, and wax, of course, candles I go crazy for. But, yeah, so the biggest thing that's happened since April is I've actually moved. I've mentioned in old videos before, my husband and I were interested in moving, or, you know, I kept always talking about when I move, or we're going to try to move, and finally it happened. We, not long after April's when we started getting the house ready, like putting some stuff in storage, going through stuff, and, you know, going through the process of finding an agent and everything. And we finally got the house actually listed in about August. We just spent most of the summer kind of painting some fresh paint, fixing stuff we knew that might want, you know, need to be fixed, and getting stuff in storage. And I was actually beginning a new path that I was doing. Let me explain. When I was younger, my parents actually owned, on the side of their regular careers, they owned a ceramic shop, because in the 90s, ceramics were like really big and they were kind of all the rage. And I've had their equipment for a while, and this is still in the old house that I was in. And I've had it just sitting there. My dad retired last year, and my mom had already been retired about a year prior. So I was like, hey, teach me how to do this stuff. And so we did it for fun. We made a few things for us to decorate in our house with, like, you know, the biggest thing are the ceramic Christmas trees. You would know what I was talking about if I showed you one. I might drag one out in a future video just to show you. But that's like the biggest thing that everybody loves. So friends of ours wanted some, we wanted some. And some friends of ours do a lot of local art shows, so we thought about, hey, let's, you know, try one. And we did really well. So I spent the summer getting the house ready, but on the side, I was making a lot of ceramics to get ready for the fall and Christmas season. And so all through the fall and Christmas, I did art shows about every weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 in one weekend. We did really great. We were able to, like, you know, keep buying our supplies. My husband kind of helped me buy the supplies to begin with. We were able to keep on buying our own supplies, but also like be able to buy Christmas and like a little bit of side change. And it was something so fun for my mother and I to do together. And she would come down and help me, and it was a lot of fun. Now, surprisingly, after August, it took about 2 months to sell our house. We thought it would take forever because of the location and the neighborhood we were in. They needed to pave their roads, and they haven't done it in forever. You know, every year they promised they would. So, you know, we sold our house in 2 months. And so basically we had to be out of our house like right after Christmas. And it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like, oh, new year, new beginnings, which is true now that it's over with. But at the time it was crazy and hectic. And all I did for Christmas was put our tree up. And that was really super depressing. And Halloween, I didn't put that spooky town of mine up, the ceramic village that I've done videos for. That broke my heart. It was in a storage unit the whole time. So it's been a very busy past year for me. And it's been a lot of, I loved taking time off from YouTube because, you know, you have to stretch your legs sometimes and get into new things. This is just a hobby. This is fun. I just love talking about stuff with you guys, and I've really missed it. So I really hope to kind of come back around doing some videos. And, you know, I'm in the new place, so I have a very new setup for when I do videos. Before, I had that like spare bedroom. I had a table, and it had our movies in there, it had books in there, it had a TV in there. Like, it was just like a catch-all room. And now that we have a bigger space, we're able to like keep everything separate. So I finally was able to do the kind of a vanity room that I've always wanted to do. And this is where I'm going to film. And I love it because I have a window right behind the camera, so I have more natural light now. Super, super awesome. And so I'm very excited about that, and I hope to be making videos. I don't know how often or what about, but I do miss it, and I miss the interaction and talking to people about the stuff I love to shop for and what they love to shop for. So I haven't done much shopping in that last year. One, I knew that it was better to not accumulate before moving, and I did go through a lot of stuff and gave out a lot of like lotions and sprays and stuff that like made no sense, or they were kind of older, and like my sister might take a few of them, my mom and some friends kind of took them to kind of help two birds, one stone, help kind of go through some of it. And also, you know, it's one of those things when you go to move, it's easy before to like accumulate into a collection, but when the time comes to pack it and move it, it sucks. You don't realize how much you really have. So all year, I've barely bought any body care. I think I bought 2 travel size sets, which was like the 1,000 Wishes from Bath & Body Works at Christmas, and like one other one. And then candles, I recently bought some here at the first of the year when they were $12, which, you know, that's for another day rant. But I only bought a couple of them, and that's the only candles I've really bought since, let me look at my collection. Yeah, last spring, back when they had the garden party and the pink petal tea cake and all that. That's like the last time I've really bought candles, because I've been trying to go through them. And of course, another day, another rant for all the sales prices and all that. We've all been there. A lot of YouTubers have been there, covered that. So I'm on the same bandwagon. I'm not happy about it. And yeah, so today I wanted to actually, I know I'm talking a lot, and I've, you know, been ridiculed before for talking a lot, but this is just more of an informative video. But I wanted to haul a little bit of a local vendor I met doing all of my art shows. I've always seen people at different art shows or different festivals and things where you have like homemade soaps or you know, handmade wax cubes and all that fun stuff. And I actually met her through a mutual friend. She's like, oh, she's done the circuit forever. She could really help you figure out, which granted we had very different works of, you know, she does soaps for a living and I did ceramics, which are very different. But, you know, the process for art shows is the same of signing up and finding the right ones. And she is so awesome. But the name of the company is Cottage Industry Soap. And I recently like have just picked up some stuff from her because she makes the most amazing like handmade stuff I've ever used before in my life. And I've used several products, but the ones I still have left recently at a show she was at, and I didn't know she was there, so that was kind of awesome. She makes several different types of bath products. So the starting one are these like bar soaps, and they're so beautiful. She'll hand make them to be kind of themed for something. This one was themed for the movie Frozen, you know, hence the blue and the snowflake and everything else. And this one is just called Snow Princess Soap. Now, she lists what she uses for ingredients, but she's very much about all natural. So everything she uses is like shea butter she has it imported from Africa. Like, she uses some of the best products. Some things are fragrance oils, some are essential oils. It just kind of depends. This particular one is a fragrance oil. Now, some people would have very bad reactions, especially if you have skin allergies. My face always gives me problems, but of course I'd never use something like this on my face. But fragrance oils don't really do anything to my body. Sometimes, like on my forearms, I'll kind of get a little, and this is Bath & Body Works mostly, I'll get a little just dried out. But the minute I put lotion on it, it's not bad, but it has that itchy kind of, it's not really red, but it's just irritated a little bit. These soaps don't do that for me. And I'm kind of really starting to turn a new leaf, and, you know, I don't know, maybe it's the move. Maybe I'm all about just starting fresh, but I'm really into just trying different and new products, and especially after being a local vendor, I'm all about supporting local vendors, especially if they have great products. So that's one thing that I'm kind of excited about. You know, you can do the commercial thing, and there's really no telling what's in there. I've never been a big person who necessarily cares about what chemicals they use, but sometimes when you use the good stuff, it really shows a difference, you know, so it kind of like has converted me a little bit. Of course, I will always use the stockpile I have of Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works, but I do love mixing this into my routine, and possibly just if I stop buying from there at the other places, kind of starting these like local vendors and help promote for them. Not that she's asked me to promote, this is something I chose to do, but you know, I'm passionate about it, so I wanted to talk about it. But yeah, so these are just very beautiful soaps. These are her little like handmade labels. It just has her company and all the ingredients that are listed in there, and I just absolutely love it. I just think this one is so cute. And to feel them, they feel almost kind of waxy like. That's the shea butter that's in them. And sorry about the big, huge bandage. I had like the worst finger injury ever. But they're so beautiful. I love just how she crafts them. And she uses the little pretty glycerin soaps for these little decorative pieces. She had some at Christmas that had gingerbread men on it and little trees. And then for Halloween, she had these fake eyeballs, and they were so funny. But they're so cute. This is a new one she's came out with. And again, I really love how she packages everything as far as the detail. I know that when she makes them, it's kind of like in a meatloaf type pan. It's silicone. And when it curates, I don't know her whole process, but I do kind of understand some of it, where when you curate it, if you were to cut it right away when she made it, it'd be like cream cheese. It'd be way too soft. But once it sits for a couple of weeks, it gets this firm, kind of like a piece of meatloaf, but it's so soft and waxy, and that's the shea butter. And this particular one is called the Promised Land Soap, which is kind of based, it's like a milk and honey type fragrance. This particular one is another fragrance oil one, but it has real oats in there. I mean, it's so super, super stinking cute how she puts these together. And she recently got a stamp that she puts on them when she cuts them. And I'm struggling getting this off of here. Ah, there we go. And she's got this little stamp. This one's not as easy to tell, but it has the company name in there. And it's so pretty. And this one has kind of a gold kind of underneath that. And it's so pretty. I love how she makes her stuff. And I have one for my husband. He actually picked it out. It's very basic. It's called Sexy Beast. She has a man something soap. This is more my husband's taste. He picked this one out. I really don't know what she used in this one as far as the fragrance. I just know that it's another fragrance oil, but she uses coconut shaved nuts and a bunch of other stuff. But she doesn't list what she uses for fragrances, which is totally fine. But it smells amazing. I mean, I can't wait for my husband to use that because it smells awesome. The last one that I got, she actually themed this one after Game of Thrones. It's called Mother of Dragons. And I cannot express how obsessed with this one I am. I have no idea what she used in it. I mean, it has like the actual ingredients, but as far as the fragrance, like I said, it's not listed. But this is, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's so cute. It's a very basic design. Just kind of purples and reds with this kind of swirl, like a plum coloring. And I just love how the tops always get kind of detailed and how kind of crazy cool they look. I cannot even begin to tell you what's in this one. I should ask her, and I could always post below what types of smells they are. Because I hate that this is, you know, part of YouTube, is I can tell you all day long, but you would have to smell it for yourself. I almost don't even want to use this one because then it would be gone and then I would never have it again because it smells that good. And I'm a sucker for Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones, but this is kind of ridiculous how great that smells. And sorry I'm not able to really describe those. Oh, I will say this though. This one is peppermint. I did know that. And I mentioned that was the milk and honey. The man one is just a very classic, just cologne type musk fragrance, but it's very light. You know, some stuff can be very overpowering. This one has a very fresh, like, cologne. You know, not something super heavy and alcoholic and artificial. It's just very mild. And I can't even pinpoint what this one is. I just really can't. But I do love that one. And I hate I can't tell you about it. But maybe I'll put the stuff below if I talk to her and I get to find out. And if you're familiar with Lush doing bath bombs and all of stuff of that nature, she has her own variety of it. I've used up my other ones. The only one I have left is Blood Orange, and I actually cut it in half because the bathtub I have now is a little smaller. So a regular bath bomb is a bit much. So I did cut it in half, but it looks just the way Lush would do. And of course, it's not going to be perfect because, you know, when you cut it, it's going to crumble a little bit. But same concept as what you would get from Lush. Blood Orange smells fantastic. Smells so stinking good, and I'm glad that I kind of get two uses out of it. I love the way she packaged these as well. She kind of used these little cupcake containers with like the fake grass. She's changed it since then, but I just kept it in there so I wouldn't lose it, especially with moving. I didn't want it to get broken, and you know, that stuff's going to crumble everywhere. But she usually would keep her bath bombs in there, and they're so cute. And oh no, I dropped one. Sorry. Oh gosh, this is a catastrophe. This is how long it's been since I've made a video. And I found editing software. I may or may not use it. Maybe not this time, but maybe later. And one thing I love that she makes are these like cupcake bath bombs. They are adorable. This one is green apple, and this one, of course, is just a kind of a confetti cake fragrance. The way she has made these, when you drop it into the bath, the bottom part where the actual like cake would be is the bath bomb itself. It'll fizz out like the Alka-Seltzer type stuff, you know, it'll fizz, create the fragrance. But this is soap. So when your bath bomb fizzles out, this is going to be left floating in your water, and this is what you bathe with. They're both green apple. This is the coolest thing I have ever seen. I don't know if she did research, and of course she didn't create the idea. I don't know where she got it from, but this is amazing. And these are just so cute. I love the way she displays them at her shows because it just looks like a bakery. And if she has to put signs everywhere, do not eat because, you know, people are... It looks good enough to eat, it really does. A new thing she's created are bath truffles, and these are the most adorable thing ever. They look like real truffles. I'm not sure the difference between the bath bombing ingredients than these of what she's using. This one's is Neapolitan, kind of like Neapolitan ice cream. So I'm presuming, and it smells like it too. I haven't smelled these yet. It smells like strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. You can smell all three of them. That is amazing. But they have kind of that texture like a truffle would have. But they're kind of like a bath bomb, but they're not going to fizz. You drop them into the bath, and it's like a shea infused. It's going to make your water very silky and smell like strawberry or chocolate or vanilla, or all three if you get a little creative. But these smell divine. They really do. And I love the vanilla. She's got these like little cute confetti pieces in there. And I know it's kind of hard to tell. But she's got a little bit of like confetti in there. And they smell amazing. And I've got 2 more products from her because I wanted to try everything, I swear. This was a unique idea that she came up with. For bath bombs, when she would make them, if they would crumble or not really come out correctly, she crushed them down into a powder. And she would jar up the powders and has created kind of, she calls it fairy dust fizzy milk bath. And what you do is you just spoon it out into the bath, and it still is going to have the fizzling effect like a bath bomb would, but it's very, you know, you can control how much or how little you want to put in there, which is really great. And it won't take as long. Like a bath bomb, they could take 30 minutes and upwards of that to fully dissolve, depending on the circumstances and how big and how hot the water is. But this is black raspberry vanilla, and this is more for kids, but I thought it was the cutest idea. She put a little fairy wand in there, and she said, you know, to stir it with the fairy wand to kind of just give you swirly effects. But I thought this was like a genius idea to not let your product really go to waste if it didn't stay intact with like a regular bath bomb would. And this thing is huge and heavy, and it will last a really, really long time. And the last thing I got... and I guess I could open this now, but I'll show you the packaging. This is what she calls bubble dough. It's 4 different fragrances. There is green apple, bubblegum, Fruit Loops, and black raspberry vanilla. And she put a cute little cookie cutter in there because it is a consistency like Play-Doh is. She had several different ones. I picked the smaller heart one with Valentine's Day and all. And I wish I had thought to open this sooner, just so you don't have to hear the rattling. But I'll just show you the green apple one. And these smell great. They, you know, something like this is green apple as well. It's very light. You know, it's not a very heavy, which is very kind of good for people that don't want an overwhelming sense of a smell. Very light, but you can very much tell that it's green apple. This one is a lot more powerful. Ew, that's my dog, sorry. He's rolling around. It smells fantastic. And it really is kind of like a Play-Doh. It's very mushy. And this is a very unique thing. What you do is you just grab as much or as little as you want and kind of rub it under the running water, and it creates bubbles. It is such a unique, different take on things than just the traditional liquid, pour it in there, gunk it up. And it also helps like with jetted tubs. You know, if you've ever, the first time I ever used one, I put a little too much bubble bath in there, and it was like a Hollywood bath. We're talking like they were almost to the freaking ceiling, because I didn't realize just how much the jets can really circulate that and just make it that crazy. So that's why I don't have as many bubble baths, because a little goes a very long way. But I wanted to try these because it is such a unique, different product that I was super excited about. And it doesn't say if it's like a fragrance or essential oil. And I could always ask stuff like that. But to some people it really matters. For me, it doesn't really necessarily matter. But I know that for some people it does. But I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to explain kind of where I had been. And I was so excited about these new products because I haven't shopped at the other places in forever, but I've shopped from her because I would run into her at shows and I'd pick something up here, pick something up there, and I fell in love with her stuff. And even though there are millions of online vendors that kind of do the same type of stuff, and you can always do your research and find some, if you were ever interested in doing something a little out of the commercial box, you know, if you wanted to try help support local people that hand make their products, or, you know, anything like that is amazing. And it's not to just down anything commercial because I still buy it here and there. And that'll be a video for another day to go over pricing and sales and, you know, repackagings that we are all very much aware of at this point. And so, yeah, I'll talk about that another day. But sorry if this was long. I just wanted to get back in the swing of things. And I'll keep it shorter in the future. I know people think that I talk too much. I don't get it, you know. I know when I watch videos, it's to learn or to, you know, just hear about someone's, you know, things they go through or things that they have to say or things that they're interested in. And I don't know if other people have this, you know, people that think you talk too much, but apparently I do. So I guess I should have warned you at the very beginning that I'm going to be talking the whole time. But from now on, I'll try to shorten them a little bit. And thanks for stopping by. I hope to be back pretty soon. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.